talk about how the simplified accumulation annuity might fit into a specific portfolio and how it differs from some of the market makers out there now. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 from 1998 to current. Well, you can see we took $100,000 and we compared what it would look like graphically over that period of time. Well, after the first 2 years, your $100,000 went to $151,000. But because of volatility and non-guarantees during the next few years, that 151 went down to 90, and then all the way up to 2007, it was at 151. 2007, 2008, it went to $93,000. And then it steadily grew and grew up until January 1st, 2020. It was at $335,977. If we calculate the last 3 months or the first quarter of the year, that account value went to 241. So the holding period of 100,000 went to 241. Lots of volatility. Let's take a look at if we had invested at the time an indexed annuity product, and that's in the green. Well, you can see the significant difference is the money managers with S&P are a little bit more aggressive because they don't have to protect the downside. So if you compare just an investment as is with no market downturns, after a 2-year period, your account value was 151 with the S&P, 124 with an indexed product. And as I said earlier in the day, we talk to our clients and say, what's more important, the upside in the market or principal protection? And in this case, you would probably say, well, the upside is more important because you've got close to $27,000 more. But we look at what could possibly happen to derail our plan. Well, what happened is in the following year, your 151 went to 136. The significant difference is your 124 with your indexed annuity during that same year period did not share in any market loss. So you were still at 124. The following year, where your 136 went to 118 because there was a market loss in that index, your indexed annuity stayed at 124. The following year, your S&P account went down to 90,000. But because you had an indexed annuity, you didn't share in any market losses. So if we compare it at that point in time, you're $34,000 ahead with a fixed indexed annuity product. The pedal to the metal philosophy with a fixed indexed annuity is when the markets are down. We've had several thousand clients calling us over the last 30, 60 days saying, I get it now, I understand it now. Because during fantastic times, we don't understand the benefit of that protection. We call it zero is our hero because we're not losing any money. So let's fast forward from 2002, where our accounts are 90 versus 124. Markets went up, fixed indexed annuity also went up, and the S&P almost went up the same. So at the end of 2007, the S&P was at 151, the indexed annuity was at 162 because we didn't share in any losses. The biggest point is at the end of that 2008, that 151 was at 93. Your indexed annuity product went from 162 to 162. You had no share in the losses. So let's fast forward all the way up till the end of our calculations, and we can see the S&P 500 was 335. The indexed annuity was 330. If we had been smart enough at that time to sell our portfolio in the S&P, we'd be in great shape. But if we didn't, that value now is worth 241, and you can see the index product stayed at 330. There's a $90,000 difference. So the purpose of this slide simply is to show you the benefits of principal protection. Now these numbers would be magnified even more if we were withdrawing using our 4% rule on $100,000. Those numbers, in order to climb back in the red, would be extremely difficult. So let's take an example of two folks, Abigail and Melinda, who each had $1 million, and they were utilizing the 4% rule, and they were going to withdraw $40,000 a year annually. Abigail decided to purchase a 60%, 40% bond portfolio with the local money manager, And Melinda decided she liked the protection of the simplified accumulation annuity. The markets. We showed in this case a 4-year period with 2 down years and 2 up years. You could put these at any point in time. These are actual 4-year periods. But you could put it where they're reverse of growth at the beginning and significant downturn. For our example, we're utilizing 2 years of consecutive market losses, which you've seen in the previous slides is attainable, and then 2 years of growth. And both those numbers work out to roughly 35%. So down for 2 years, up for 2 years. When we have those discovery calls, if you want additional information, and it differs from 2 years up and 2 years down, we can plug in any numbers. But here's what's incredible. After only 4 years, Abigail's account is down $269,000 less than Melinda's. Well, how did that happen? Well, we've shown it in the previous slides comparing the S&P with a fixed indexed annuity, but let's take a look at the bar graph. The projected growth on $1 million with a 21% loss, Abigail's account's worth $790. Melinda's account is worth $1 million, and we've taken out $40,000 on each, so Abigail now has $750. Melinda now has $960. Fast forward to year number 2. Minus 15% return has reduced Abigail's account to $637. Melinda had a 0% loss because she had the principal protection. So as a comparison, Abigail had $637, Melinda had $960. Let's withdraw our $40,000. Abigail is now at $597, Melinda is $920. Fast forward to year 3, where we've had productive return on that S&P portfolio, or 60% stock, 40% bonds. Abigail had a 14% return. Melinda, because the index products with fixed indexed vehicles are structured to prevent losses, her return was only 7%. So Abigail, $681, and Melinda went to $984,000. We withdraw our $40,000. Abigail at $641, Melinda at $944. Year 4, 20% for Abigail, 10% for Melinda, brought Abigail up to $769,380, and Melinda up to $1,038,000. We subtract our 4% rule of $40,000. Abigail's now at $729. Melinda's at $998. So the conceptual idea certainly is both withdrew $160,000. Abigail was subject to market vulnerability with no principal protection. Melinda had the opportunity to be in the market but have her principal protected, and also took out $160,000 over that same time frame, and has $2,000 less than what she started with 4 years previous, where Melinda's at $270,000 less than what she started with.